friends, it's Nia. Welcome to Life with Nia. Today we are closing out the January 2024 budget. I am going to go over income, expenses, business expenses, cash envelopes and sinking funds, debt, savings, and goals, and recap where we were expected to end up this month and where we actually ended up. So, to start with, let's talk about income. So I think I have my income from my primary job down as far as what it will be. It did change slightly for February, but it was just like change. So I think we are good until July. So that was $53.10 and 55 cents. I am getting a telework stipend, which is $31.87, and then the health stipend came back for people who are in the classification that I am in, which is an exempt classification. So that is $165.75 after taxes, which it's taxed at the supplemental rate. I brought in 5,086 from Etsy, and 1,000 of that was set aside for taxes. And I received a YouTube payment this month of $168.16, $12.49 from 31. So total income was $10,776. I expected $10,302, so it's about $474 more than expected. In addition, I had some money come in from sinking funds. So I brought in $525 from my student loan sinking fund to pay student loans, and then $1,700 for taxes to pay quarterly estimated taxes. Did some recycling. That was $15, and that went to my vacation fund. I brought in $650 from my car insurance sinking fund to pay my car insurance for 6 months. And then I redeemed some credit card rewards, and that was $60, and I put that to my garden fund. So if you add in the sinking funds and the recycling and credit card rewards, it was a total of $13,726. All right, expenses. Nothing on here was out of the ordinary with the exception of the car insurance. I knew it was coming, but it's not an ordinary bill because I only pay it every 6 months. So that was $652.38. Happy to report that it did not go up substantially. I know I'm seeing a lot of people whose insurance has gone up a lot. And then I will talk more about the credit cards, the Amazon, the Venture, which are the 0 and 1.99%, and then the schools and the Discover, which I had put the printers, ink, and IKEA furniture on when we get over to debt. For business expenses, we did have some business expenses that were kind of high. I purchased a couple of items for the planner sesh box. That was a total of $400. So this is spring planner sesh box coming up probably at the beginning of March. I also purchased art. That was art was $99. I purchased some business cards. That was $124. $124.79. So that is these cards here that are included in orders. It had been a year since I purchased them, and I purchased enough that it would probably be at least another year before I will need them again. Where I spent a large amount was on ink. So if you have been following along on the ink story, the ink that HP is sending me is lackluster, to say the least. It's horrible. And so I did a little hypothesis and theory and test, and I feel like science project in 5th grade, and determined that the ink in the store did not have the same issue as the ink that they're mailing me through their instant ink program. However, it's very expensive. So I spent $518.58 this month on ink. that's not sustainable. So I'm not sure what my plan is moving forward, but um, yeah, it prints beautifully, but can they just mail me that? Because that's I'm paying for the service. I don't understand like why what they're mailing me is crazy. I have to like show y'all the difference one day of it's pretty dramatic. Like it makes no sense. Like what is wrong with this ink? I was wondering too, do y'all remember back in like the early 2000s where there were all these little stores where you could take your ink cartridges in and get them refilled? Did those just like all go away? Does anybody do that anymore? I heard HP blocks that when you do that with their printers and you try to then go back and install the cartridge, it won't work anymore. I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm willing to try it on the old printer, but I'm just like, there has to be a way because this ain't it. Anyway, so that is that made for some pricey business expenses. All my other things were pretty much in line with what they normally are. JMC did go away, so I'm still on the fence on Gold City. That may go away as well. So JMC, at least that's saving me $20 a month. It was $19.97. Okay, cash envelopes and sinking funds. So we stuffed $1,175 at the beginning of the month for our cash envelopes. I used $525 from my student loan sinking fund, and I used $1,700 from my tax sinking fund, and I used $650 from my car insurance sinking fund. All right, let's talk about debt. So for debt, we started out the month at $18,257 and 54 cents. The goal was to be under 17,000, and we ended at 16,933 and 2 cents. So we did hit that goal. However, I did not hit the individual goals that I had set on some of these cards. So I wanted to pay, I think it was $650. So $650 on the venture. I paid $200. And then I wanted to pay $400 on Amazon. I actually did pay $730, but I put money on it, so the Amazon card ended up higher than when I started. So Amazon ended at $3,600, which is $254 more than what we started with. Navy Federal went from $813 to $645. PayPal went from $507 to $576. The school's card went from $1024 to $899. This was one that I had wanted to pay off. That is the furniture that I purchased. And then the Discover went from $523 to $302. That is also one that I wanted to pay off. However, I did put some of that additional ink that I purchased on that card. And so I actually paid about $575 to that card. So I paid it off, but then I have the additional ink costs added on there. Afterpay went from $928 to $675.66. This loan went from $1925 to $1815. CarMax went from $4,996 to $4,533. And so we ended with $16,933.02, which is under $67 under the $17,000 goal. So I'm happy about that. All right. Then we have savings. So for savings, let's look at our little tracker here. So total saved this month through our savings challenges here that I do every week was $788.22. I also had $30 that I saved from the Broke Black Girl Savings Challenge, and I saved the interest that Ally paid to me I have two Ally savings accounts. So for one, I received $32.85. That went to my vacation fund. And then the other, I received $22.17. That went to my profit fund. And then that Envy app that I showed y'all, where I go in and I save an amount every day, that was in January, $272 that was saved. So in total, $1,115.24 is saved. Really not looking at all of that. I mean, obviously I am. I calculated it all, but I'm not looking at all that. I'm really looking at what I do with my savings challenges as to whether or not I hit my savings goal. And so I did hit it using the savings challenges. I leave the rest of this is just bonus, with the exception of the Broke Black Girl, because that really should have been part of my whole thing over here. Anyway, and I just accidentally did not have it. No, I did have it. It's part of the 788.22. So the Ally Savings and then the Envy were not part of the overall group. So that is where we're at on savings. By the way, if you're interested in opening a savings account with Ally, I do have a link down below. It is an affiliate link. I get a credit and you can get up to $250 in bonuses if you meet certain criteria with them. So feel free to use that link if you're interested in opening up an account with Ally. I love Ally. They may not have the highest savings rate out there. I believe it's currently 4.35% at the, it might be 4.5% at the filming of this video. And for me, like the best thing is the buckets. I have a lot of sinking funds, and so to be able to have them all the money combined in one account earning the interest, because it's all there, is fantastic. But to be able to keep it all straight with their buckets is amazing. So I can just break in the countdown with these individual buckets for car insurance, home insurance, utilities, student loans, whatever it is that I am saving towards. I can keep it all in one account, but have it individually sort of parsed out to go towards certain things. And you can move the money around very easily and quickly through the different buckets. It's very quick to transfer money to them or out of the account. It's I think they let you do like 10 transfers out per month. You can do like unlimited in, but like 10 out per month, which I've never hit that number. So I also have a checking account with them if I need to access the money quicker than waiting, the day or two that it takes to transfer over to your bank. It's instant within their system. So I just really like Ally. I've had an account with them for several years. I highly recommend them. They have great customer service as well. And so they generally don't offer any type of bonus like this. So if you are interested in setting up a new account, consider using that link down below. I would appreciate it. Okay. And the last thing we're going to talk about is goals. So for our goals this month, let's look at this page here. So the first goal is to track expenses. We did that, which, by the way, let me go back. I always skip over this when we talk about tracking expenses, but I wanted to share that I have like grocery fund is $300, dining out fund is $100, and I was trying to do a lower spend on those two, and I did this in December as well, and I forgot to share in December. So this is about $160 less than what is allotted, and so that amount that I did not spend on grocery and dining was redirected towards my debt. So because I was able to keep those lower than the 300 and 100 that I have allocated, I could take that extra money and put it towards debt. So $258 in January for groceries, $83 for eating out. Gas, I spent $60. Bulk shopping, I spent $104. So just wanted to share that real quick. Okay, going back to goals. I wanted to pay down the debt and get it under $17,000. Did that. I wanted to save $750. Did that. $6,000 in SBC, which is Studio Bliss Co revenue. Did not hit that. I it was $48.41. And you may be asking yourself, Nia, you said that you were paid $5,000 and something from Etsy. How's that possible if your revenue was only $48.41? Well, the first pay day in January was January 2nd, which is actually income from the last week of December, which actually included a sale. So the Boxing Day sale was that week. So that is why those numbers don't add up in your brain the way you think that they should. Because I had to question that myself. I was like, how is that even possible? That's why. Okay, I wanted to pay off the IKEA furniture, did not do that. Wanted to pay off the printers, did not do that. I did add $500 to my solo 401k. I did not add $5,000 to my Roth. I believe I added $300 to my Roth. Yeah. So the Roth IRA was $300 this month. I did technically pay $550 to Amazon, even though I put some money on there. I did not do $881 to the venture card. So that is where we ended up with our goals for the month of January. Not horrible, not great. So let me know down below how your January budget went. I feel like I'm off to a pretty good start for the year. Just because I was able to get some additional money in my solo 401k. Y'all, the stock market is so interesting to me. Lately, I've just been kind of like following along on stuff. I sold something in my solo 401k and the next day it tanked. So that was just luck. I just decided after, 30 plus years of fooling around with the stock market that I'm a highly speculative investor. I don't like to lose money, but I'm like okay with it. I don't have like millions out here where I'm just like going to be devastated if I lose it. It's not, the amounts aren't where they just life changing. So I don't know. I'll get into some speculative things. And the day that everything was down, this one stock was up significantly. And it was because their earnings had come out and they blew them out the water. And that was why I purchased them, because everybody's into this thing right now. And so I was speculating that their stock would go up. So that's worked out well. I think it will continue to go up. Anywho, my Roth and my solo 401k, I wish I had done these things years ago. Live and learn. In any case, that's just a side note I wanted to share with y'all. So I feel like we're off to a good start in January, even though we didn't hit all the goals. I think next month we'll be able to pay off this furniture and these printers, and then get the debt down even further. So I'm looking forward to see what we can do in February. Let me know how your January budget went. If you're new, please consider subscribing. If you're returning, thanks so much for watching and coming back for another budget review. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I will see you back here next time. Bye.